Hi, I'm attorney Chris Nudo. Do you get frustrated trying to understand which is better, a trust or a will? It's frustrating that attorneys don't use plain English to explain the differences between trust and wills. You want to do right by your family, and the wrong choice can be catastrophic, frustrating, and expensive for the people you love the most. No one wants their last legacy to be blunder that hurts their loved ones. So, what's the straight answer without all the legal jargon? Is one just really better than the other? In this video, I'm going to drop all the legal jargon, all the weird legal language, and clearly explain in down-to-earth language what a trust is, what a will is, and in what circumstances one is better or worse than the other. You're going to learn what probate means and how you can set your loved ones up for success, preparing them to successfully navigate the loss of a family member. Really, this topic is perfect for people who just want to understand clearly what these strange terms mean so they can achieve the goal of making things as easy as possible for their family members, specifically children. You're going to learn exactly how a will or a trust works within our probate system and when each one makes sense as the proper estate planning tool. I have over 30 years of experience helping families across Illinois build sound estate plans. I've seen both wills and trusts work well, and when they don't work well, I'm going to give you real-world practical legal explanations that you can trust. So who's going to benefit most from this video? Well, people who are looking for plain English explanations of complex legal terms. People with a goal for making life as easy as possible for their kids. People with complicated situations such as mixed marriages, children from various families, or people who have been blessed with millions of dollars. Also, adult children helping aging parents organize their estate. Have you ever heard, hey, it's time to get a will? Or have you ever watched a will reading scene in a movie or TV show? As dramatic as those scenes can be, that doesn't mean a will is always the right choice. Also, while trusts might conjure up images of the ultra-rich, many modest families can use them to avoid probate and create asset protection for their kids. Let's find out which is best. At NTegrity Law, we've guided thousands of families through estate planning option. And today we're giving you the inside view without all the legal nonsense. What is probate? Probate is the default court system an estate goes through when someone dies in Illinois. It's rather slow and expensive, taking on average 10 to 14 months to complete and costing thousands in assorted fees. It's not unusual for a probate to cost $15,000 to $20,000 in time and expense from beginning to end. Generally, people want to avoid probate because of the cost and time associated with it. This is particularly true if they are homeowners because real estate tends to continue to be a drain of money from the estate during the long, slow probate process, creating additional burden for the family. This leads us to what is a will? And how does a will and probate go together? Well, a will is a document that goes with the probate court system. It does not skip probate. Rather, it tells the probate judge how you wish to have your stuff divided among your family. It also identifies the person you want to be in charge of your estate. We call this person an executor or a personal representative. Wills are good. They're good documents. When a loved one passes away, everyone has a different movie playing in their head, and there's lots of emotion. A will is like a letter to the judge that resolves a lot of those subjective concerns. However, a will does require probate. It does not avoid it. So many don't like the will option, but Some people choose wills because they have somewhat of a dysfunctional family structure and feel it's better to have a family pay more in the long term in order to have a judge be the referee over the distribution of the assets. By the way, wills also cost slightly less than trusts, and some families are okay with paying less in the short term, but more in the long term. The most important decision is deciding whether a will is the better document for you is to know how your family feels about the probate system and about the experience of going through probate. Would your family be okay with paying, $18,000 and waiting 10 to 14 months to receive their inheritance? In my experience, the answer for most families is no. Which brings us to our next topic of a trust. What is a trust? It's a strange sounding term, but a trust is just a big contract. The idea behind a trust is to use contract law to skip the entire probate system. A validly set up trust can apply contract law to distribute your entire estate without having to wait 10 to 14 months on the probate court and without having to pay thousands in various fees. A trust also lets your family get to work right away and distribute your stuff according to the terms you lay out in the trust. You can think of it as a headache reducer for your family. Listen, losing a family member is an extremely difficult time. The loss is tragic and the emotions are raw and require time for healing. During this healing time, the last thing a family wants to do is mess around with a lengthy and expensive court process. This is why trusts are very popular. When people choose trusts, it's generally because they heard bad stories about probate, typically from the experiences of friends or other family members that had to go through the probate system. And they feel it's ethical to set up things as easy as possible for their family. The trust is by far the most common estate planning tool used to avoid the probate system. In addition, because it's a contract, there's lots of cool things we can do with a trust, such as asset protection for inheritance from creditors and divorcing spouses. I have many stories about very happy children because Mom and Dad created asset protection trusts for them, and how during a very ugly divorce, their wicked spouse could not touch their inheritance. This is an extremely valuable tool. Now, it's really important that I point out that one size does not fit all. A trust is not for all families, generally because the estate is so simple it doesn't make sense to have a trust. An example of this would be where an estate only has a small number of low-value bank accounts. However, if you own a business or own real estate, a trust makes a lot of sense, and the more pieces of real estate you own, the more sense it makes. For example, clients that own real estate in multiple states can put all of the real estate in a single trust and avoid probate in multiple states. Despite the stereotype that a trust is only for the ultra-rich, both middle-class and wealthy families benefit from probate avoidance and the use of a trust. In our firm, trusts are by far the most common estate planning tool we use. Our firm represents a wide representation of America with a wide variety of social, economic background. I do get asked if you can have both a trust and a will, and the answer is yes. Whenever we prepare a trust-based estate plan, we always include a simple will with the trust. We often aren't planning on the will having any heavy lifting to do. Rather, it's just a fail-safe or a backup measure. It's an extra layer of redundancy to protect everything. As you can probably tell, whether a trust or a will is better is going to be a product of your specific estate and what your goals are. If you need help charting how to achieve those goals, our team at NTegrity Law can help you look at the full picture and build a plan that honors your wishes, and your legal goal. If you found this video helpful, you'll want to definitely check out our video, The Ultimate Estate Planning Guide for Beginners. We break down the topic again into plain English so you can understand how best to protect your family and your children. Listen, schedule a consultation today with us. Call us 847-802-9912. And thank you for joining us today. Make it a great day.